There we go. The full face never works for me, so I gotta go little. I'll be a little guy in the corner.
I know. Wish I still had my green screen.
Hey, you're actually working though.
Oh, I'm working. That's right. Hard working.
All right.
Nice.
Let's start this off properly, though. Aloha.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, missing you guys.
We missed you last week.
He's not wearing a Hawaiian shirt or a lei. I am
Ugh.
super disappointed.
I'm
No,
not.
he's just got back from the gym or what?
He's like Cobra Kai up in the house or something. I don't know.
I'm wearing all of this because that episode was exhausting.
Ah, okay.
It felt like a workout actually
I know.
watching that last
Yeah.
installment.
You're right,
of
man.
Game of Thrones.
You're right.
Oh,
There we go.
there we go.
Better get that going. Gotta keep the sweat out of my eyes.
That's a typical Mkbean workout. Lift a kitten.
It's tough.
And
Hold
I'm willing
on.
to bet you pulled something.
Oh, there we go.
You pulled something.
Thank you, everybody.
Remember
Thank
that?
you,
Remember
Soapy
that Miami?
Oh.
Thank you for that.
What's going on, everybody? Good to see you here. Welcome back. Another week. This was a
Yeah.
crazy one, so we got a lot to talk about, of course. Welcome
Yeah.
back. Love to design. Callie, Chloe, Ahsoka. Thank you for showing up. Evil, thanks for the raid, my friend, my dude. How was your stream? Let's get Skizz partnered. I agree. Road to partnership.
Road to partnership. Yeah, a lot of support while I was gone. You guys are all amazing. But we're not here to talk about how awesome I am. I mean, we can.
Oh, we're not?
We can change topics if we like.
Oh, I kind of thought we were, but okay.
Me.
We're
What-
here
what
to
are we
talk
talking about?
about
Oh, yeah.
Game of Thrones and anybody who's trying. So here's the deal, and I know I'm maybe partial to this, but it's important to me to say it again. Anybody who's tuning in for the first time, if you don't watch Game of Thrones or you didn't see the last one, you got to leave because this is some serious spoilers we're about to go through
If
here.
you don't watch it, you can still stay and just enjoy the conversation.
No,
But if you want to
You
know
see?
about it,
That's the difference between you and
Maybe-
me. I care about people.
Maybe they want
Oh.
spoilers. Maybe they
yeah,
want
some
to
people
have
like spoilers. I don't. I hate spoilers.
What were you saying, Impulse?
Maybe they like spoilers. Like that's how they like to get their information about what they're gonna watch
Maybe,
someday.
but I'm a bit of a control freak, and I'm saying you're not allowed.
Oh wow. Okay.
Is
Well,
that-
mute his stream.
Come on over to mine. No, we're co-streaming, so
He's even got his movie cup theater. Look at or the cup there. Look at that.
yeah.
yeah. Harkins,
He
dude,
just
I
that's
got
why
you.
he showed up late. He actually ran to Harkins to get the $1 refill and then came back home.
No doubt. Do the same
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
almost there, Ghost. Thank you, sir.
Before we get into the pictures here, guys,
I
this
know,
was a
thank you.
really big episode, and I tell you, I almost have the opposite feeling that I had from the previous episode, and you weren't here for that discussion there, Skiz, but like the episode 2, I thought it was an okay episode. I slept on it, and I thought it was one of the best episodes. This one, I thought, is a really solid episode. I woke up on it, and I'm not so sure now. And the great thing about this, and this is something I'm going to talk about, this this shows why the book is better. The books are better. This episode proves it to me. All right. And the great thing is George R. R. Martin now has plenty of data to say, you know what? I know what not to do. And I'll get more into that.
Okay. Yeah, wasn't expecting this coming from you, but okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I like the episode. Don't get me wrong. I did, but there's just some holes, big holes.
Well, I mean, that's like you said. That's the case anytime that you know there's a book background. Yeah.
Well,
That's
the
the
problem
way it is.
is that there is no book material, and now they're doing the writing, and so it's
That's true.
a little weaker. But
Well,
I still like the show. I still love the show. Still the best show on TV. Still my
The
favorite.
the holes that you're referring to does it have anything to do with the books that you've read in the past?
No, it has to do with just the TV show, right? There, as you know, there are characters. All the characters have some story, have some sense of purpose, right? In this episode, right, the Night King, there's no purpose. There really is zero purpose to that character.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So,
What do you mean no purpose?
well, we'll get toward it in about 3 hours when we finally get through all the pictures.
I want to talk about it now.
oh my gosh, we better get rolling. We better get rolling. There's a lot of pictures, so
There are a lot of pictures, and I
Right.
apologize. Right, there's some pictures that I wanted to get, but I just couldn't get. Right, I get them from this place called the Internet, and
Can
couldn't
you send me a
find some
link?
that I really wanted. Yeah, it's called Internet.
Internet.com.
I didn't want to go to that website.
I'm going to do it. I want to see if that's a thing.
I can't, man. I got one hand today because the other hand has a kitten on it right now.
Oh my goodness.
Internet.com. Hey, it's just a picture of Skiz. This is,
What
dude,
else
it literally
did you find?
says the internet starts here. Thank you. All right, I'm going to close that out.
So you went to the right place then. Good.
Good.
All right, let's do it. We got.
Yeah.
I never know how to say her name. Is it Liana?
Liana.
It's just
Yeah.
Liana,
So yeah,
right?
it starts with the kind of the still from the previous episode there, the preparations, if you will, right? Getting Winterfell, ready for this oncoming battle that's happening. And so, yeah, you had a few shots of the people that were going and doing that. And obviously, what was great about her and her character, she's barking a whole bunch of orders out there to people, even though she's the smallest person on screen.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah.
Man, it just jumped right in, didn't it? Like this episode wasted no time. It was like
They hit the
right
ground
into
running.
right
But
into
see, but let's real quick. I want to actually talk a little bit about what Impulse is talking about. Is that they did hit the ground running, but they didn't They hit the ground running with your heartbeat, with your tension, your anxiety. But it wasn't like the battle just started. It was that calm before the storm, but it was like a wicked calm to the point where I was almost like, Sony fire! Like, it was just like let's get it going. Because not that I was anxious, but because I was like, God, I can't stand it anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you ever, I don't know what it is to say. If like somebody owes you a punch in the arm, and you know it's coming, like, and you know, like, I deserve this punch, and they wait all day long, and you're like, would you just hit me, dude? Get it over with. And that's what it was like. I was like, just
tension
get the
and release,
started.
man. Tension and release, right? They know what they're doing. Even though Mkbean's bagging on them, they know what they be doing, right?
Yep.
Maybe have some more lighting, but anyway.
That was needed. Okay. I didn't even realize this, guys, but like when I started watching the show, right, it's 6 p.m. here. The sun's still out, and I had this glare from like my kitchen light. So I said, you know what? I'm shutting the lights off. I had the lights on, even though I didn't really need them. I'm glad that the lights were off that entire episode. I really, really needed that to happen because there were some darkness issues.
Yeah.
Oh, so we waited till it was dark, and then I had to turn all the lights down in the house to be able to see it better.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad, but it was definitely dark throughout. Maybe that's what they wanted.
All right.
All right, so on to. Oh wait, hold on. We didn't really talk about Lady.
Well, this is just the beginning of the episode, man. Okay, we don't need to like jump right into the.
That's right, because
we got
climax.
We got to start sending the slide deck to Skiz so he gets a chance to preview what we go through. So he's not like,
this is the last side, Skid. So
let's jump to the end where she did the thing with the. No, we'll get it.
So obviously, part of that preparation was sending all of the women, children, and some of the men to the crypts of Winterfell, which I think we even talked about this, right? We all knew this is a terrible idea, right? I mean, the army of the dead is coming, and we're going to sit you next to a bunch of dead people.
But you thought their swords were going to protect them, fact that they buried them with the swords. So,
yep, you're right, but they didn't really go into that. But yes, a lot of bad ideas there.
I mean, come on. Tyrion's supposed to be house smart.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't think of that.
Go down there.
Didn't think of that.
Let me challenge that.
We're fighting the dead. Let's go to a place with more dead people.
Do you remember when they shipped they shipped the White Walker so that one of the members of the Army of the Dead so that Cersei could see it? This was last season. It was just in a wood crate, and it was fine. These were like concealed in concrete. How are they just getting out of there like it's a thriller music video? Yeah, they just. I was like,
like that playing in the background.
If I'm in charge and they're like, "Hey, Skiz, so like the dead are coming, can we chill in the crypts?" I'd be like, "Yeah, they're in concrete. You're fine." Like that would be my logic. But then they just like it was paper mache. And I'm like, what is happening?
Those crypts are pretty old, right? So that concrete. They got their concrete mix. It was a ready quick mix. It's probably pretty old and easy to break through.
Yeah.
They're getting all their preparations ready, and there were some touching moments down there with Tyrion and Sansa as well, right? How she even talked to him about, he was the best husband she had, which
that was good,
but still,
that was a good laugh.
Yeah. that entire dynamic between those two was cracking me up. Like it was so awesome because in the beginning, they had this like from their entire journey, right? They didn't even know each other in the beginning. You know what I mean? She was a younger girl and he was this like side character. And then obviously the marriage was very, very interesting all the way to we're like, we're in this together. Like that is a heck of a road to end up in the same crypt together. And while Winter shows up, man. And they're both like the leaders down there. And that was, I don't know if I liked Tyrion's disposition on this whole thing. He did not
grab
want to
2
be down
bags
there.
of wine and just hang out.
No. Yeah. Well, that's his answer for everything.
That's my disposition too.
Yeah, no, his whole like I need to be up there. It was killing him to know that.
I could see
let
something
me
that
use
could
my
be.
brain.
I could see something that could be important to winning. Yeah,
She shot that down pretty quick though.
Yeah,
He'd be dead, and he would have been. He would have been dead.
Yep.
Maybe.
That's true. So I made a prediction last week, Mkbean. You might remember this, but I did say I thought somebody was going to show up and help.
I tell you what, this shocked me. It really did.
Nailed it.
Yeah, you did. And
I
did not expect it.
Let him have his moment. I was watching this with. I'm not going to let you get away with this. I was watching this with Impulse, and it felt like the whole time he's all, "I got that right. Called that. I got that right. Called it."
Predictions last week.
Just throwing the bows. I got that right. Oh, did that. See that? Look at that. Got it. Boom. Did it. Called it.
It was pretty cool. I did not expect her to come, right? And that was pretty cool that she showed up, I thought, right?
It really was. It was. And that was. Go ahead.
And Jorah was kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to do what you tell me to do, because she's like, telling them to raise their swords or their Iraqs. There we go. Whew, that's a tough word for me, man.
Wait,
it's like the country, Iraq.
I thought it was Iraqs.
I
don't care. Korak. Curved blades.
Bent swords.
Yeah. That's right. They once were straight. They all sat on them.
Yeah, that's one of the pictures I wanted to get was her. And that's the thing, right? Where did she even come from, right? She's like coming like from the same direction the Army of the Dead is coming from. So
I noticed that.
Where in the
She
world
just,
she even
walked
came from?
through them. Excuse me.
Yep.
Come through.
I'm cool. We're good. Don't worry.
Oh man.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting.
Something else.
And then she. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna move on. Go ahead.
I like how she comes in and she just starts like, just no explanation, just starts barking orders.
Yeah.
And
Raise
so
your
he
swords.
does. You'd think he would have been like, can you tell me why?
Right.
Like, what's it? What you doing? But then she lit them all up, and it was awesome. It was super awesome, and I felt like Jazz, like this is a game changer.
I was like, yeah, we can finally see something.
Exactly.
Dude. It was I was like, look what she did, because they're dangerous, and fire gets them along with Dragon Glass, and all they did was blow out the candles. And it was a brutal.
It was
scene.
right. It was rough. I mean, these guys. So I mean, their main guy. He was in the war room last week, right? We saw that.
Yep.
How did he agree to this? Okay, we'll go in first and just see what's going down. We'll let you know.
Defense was terrible. Okay, let's just put that out there, right? Why were they even out there in the first place?
Right.
Use the walls to your advantage. Get a bunch of archers out there just mowing people down. Get the several trenches, right? Not just one, but yeah, let's just throw some people out there to. You guys are going to go out first and commit suicide, basically.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But the thing is, I mean, everybody knew it was going to be bad. I don't think anybody knew what to expect, and that's actually sort of something I want, because you guys got to remember that this whole winter is coming thing for many seasons. It was actually among the characters. It was like a lot of them. It was a myth. It was an urban legend. You know what I mean? So that like nobody knew what to expect from this. And it was, you saw the Dothraki represent like the bravest soldiers like on the entire show, right? And when they were confronted with what they were confronted with, you saw real panic on their eyes. And that's when I actually was really digging was you saw for the first time since the conception of this show, you saw fear on a lot of characters' faces that you had never seen before.
Oh yeah.
There were people showing fear. I was like, I didn't think they were capable of fear. And that was pretty interesting. But I have a deeper question for you, Mkbean, the connoisseur. of Game of Thrones, and this has been something I've actually never quite understood. So in the beginning, when they were saying winter is coming, it was, for all audience members, it's very, confusing. Why do they keep calling this winter is coming? What does this mean? Well, it was an urban legend, like we said, but a lot of them didn't think it was an urban legend. A lot of them knew that this was real, this was coming. Mkbean, what are they basing that off of? Like, how do they know that? Has this happened before?
Just their house words. No, that is the Stark house words. Everyone's got their words, right? The sayings that they have, right? And I don't think they ever knew it, but I mean, as the books unfold, right, and the story, and you start hearing more and more about really what's going on, you start to realize that they're talking about winter is coming. It is literally winter is coming, right? And you saw that. That's what, I wish I had a picture of it, but you saw that in this episode, that winter truly was coming, and it came in this episode, right, during the dragon fight and so forth. But yeah, they didn't know. It was like it was lost for generation over generation. The Starks, whatever, they just forgot about what their words really meant.
Well, see, okay,
Feels
so
like something pretty important to not forget about.
You would think so, but after
it's not
10,000 years,
it's not just like, oh, there's more snowflakes than normal. There's an entire army of dead coming to eat you.
Yeah.
And but what I didn't quite understand about it was, so I always as the show progressed, I started to realize that winter is coming means this war is coming. The dead are coming for us. And that's what I translated
with the White Walkers, right? I mean, and you saw that every time there was an encounter with the White Walkers, right? You could see the characters' breaths, right? I mean, literally, the water would freeze, everything, right? They were winter, they were death. That's what was coming, and then they were a little.
But how do they? Since so many people thought it was a complete myth, what is it? How is it they had this fear of this battle? Well, and I'm talking seasons and seasons ago. How did they have the fear of this battle, this imminent battle coming of the dead, when they had nothing to base it off of, because everybody thought it was just urban legend anyways? Like in the books, is there like 1,000 years ago this had happened before, or what?
No, in the books, the original Long Night, which is the name of this episode, happened like 10,000 years ago. At least that's when the Citadel, which is kind of where Sam went, to become a maester. Hello, kitty. That's kind of the timeline, was like 10,000 years ago. And think about that, even in human history, right? We don't remember things very long, right? And you're talking 10,000 years ago. It was just lost. And so I don't think they were preparing for this battle early on, like you said, right? They had mentioned a few things, but nobody really knew.
Okay.
So I thought it was just lost with time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Where are you going, Kat?
All right, and then we get to something we saw.
So
last
Doomsquish,
week.
real quick, Doomsquish is saying that the words "winter is coming" only means that good things won't last. Do you have that sentiment there, Mkbean?
No, it's just. I mean, it can mean a couple things, right? I think what they made it come out to be was that. I gotta go. I'll be right back. I got a kitten.
You got a kitten.
Yelling a lot. So
right.
you know what that means.
Winter's coming in his
Winter's
house.
coming for this cat.
Do your thing. Impulse and I will talk about this picture here.
Yeah.
This was quite a scene.
Yeah, there was some
This was
dialogue
quite a
here
scene.
too, and I can't remember the exact thing that they were talking about, but do you remember, Skiz? You remember?
I don't remember the actual dialogue, but I remember, and we had watched sort of the aftermath of the show as well, and they had talked about the fact that they have a plan of attack. They're actually, they know what they're going to do. They have a process, and then Dany had to sit there and watch the complete annihilation of the Dothraki army. And as soon as she saw the annihilation of the Dothraki army, or just all the Dothraki people, her tune changed, her disposition completely converted, and she just started to get, physical. She had to move and do something, and Snow actually grabs her and tries to, rein her in. And it's, to me, what that actually represented was just sort of the energy of just any battle, any chaos like that. You think you have a plan, you could plan all day, but things happen and instinct just takes over. And that's what was happening to her. Her instinct was just started to take over when she saw the Dothraki just getting extinguished.
Yeah, one hoop remembers a powerful line there. The Night King is coming, and then she says, "The dead are already here."
Yeah, that's right.
That was just like a, ooh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, and she has very similar traits to Jon, right? If you remember 2 seasons ago with the Battle of the Bastards, right, where he was fighting Ramsay, and his little brother was there, right, Rickon, and Ramsay had him run to Jon, and what did Jon do? He dropped everything and said, "I'm going to go save my brother." The Dothraki started charging, and she started freaking out after seeing all of them wiped out. Whatever the plan was, she went with Plan B.
Yeah.
And this picture is brightened. This is not how it looked on my TV. I don't know if it looked like this on your TV, but you could barely even see Jon on my TV.
All right. Let's move on.
Ghost.
Getting ready.
Ghost. I just don't understand what they're doing with Ghost. I really don't.
Right?
What do you mean? He does he marches to a beat of his own drum.
Another 2-second Ghost time, and they think that they're paying some fan service, but they're not. And then you didn't even know he was alive, and thank goodness he was in the trailer for the next episode.
That you hopefully caught the one frame they showed, right?
Exactly.
And zoomed in and lightened it and all that. Right. Yeah, pretty interesting.
Yeah,
so.
He's a good dog.
He is.
And
that's what I wanted to see him tear some White Walkers up. I wanted to see him tear some dead up. You know what I mean? Come on.
Which direwolf was it that got just destroyed protecting Bran?
That was Summer.
Oh, that was brutal. Summer got. Oh, look at all the Summers coming through.
Yeah.
that was a rough one. That was right before Hold the Door.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, that was a rough episode.
That was a fun scene.
What'd you think of Jorah running in there with the Dothraki? I mean, I get it that that's his people, but it felt weird to me.
I have
he
no
was joining
idea.
them like that.
Well, I mean, he had the relationship with the Dothraki, right?
Sure.
I mean, maybe not those, but
you're
he
gonna
at least
run
could
in
speak to them.
front line like he did. I don't know.
So let me answer that, because I was thinking the same thing as well, right? I was like, you've kind of paid your dues.
Right.
You're hanging out the back with a lemonade. But I was when I saw him do that, and this the common energy throughout all the characters, and this was kind of weird. They were all ready to fight, ready and willing, but everybody was convinced, I'm going to die today. Like every single one of them was like, this is it. We're going to die. There's nothing else to talk about. Fun knowing you. We die today. So I think that was a lot of that too. He's like, this is going to happen. I'm just going to charge head into this thing, and he's a warrior. He's an absolute warrior. And he did what warriors do,
Yeah.
But I mean, why they would go into the darkness. Are you trying to get a face there to put on?
No, I got it.
He was trying to pick
the faces
noses.
were right behind you.
Fixing green screen.
Picking noses with his...
the strategy just wasn't there, right? Why they were doing what they were doing. Let's send some of your best fighters out to die.
That scene. That was.
I mean, they had the trebuchets. Shoot the trebuchets out there a little bit. Light it up a little bit, Put some things out there so you can see what's going on. Put up some street lights. Get the electrical company out. Whatever. Do something. Get some light out there.
Yeah. Could have had the dragons come in first and light up the place, maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, just put a nice path of, fire there, just so we can see what's going on.
But, and if you think about it, they must have been like, hey, here's the deal. If you're going to die today, that sucks and all. But if I'm the commander, I'm like, you're not allowed to die until you've killed at least 2.
Right.
Because when you're dead, you become one. So really, if you kill one and then you die, you didn't do us any good. If you just die without killing anybody, thanks a lot, buddy. So you got to kill at least 2. You got to kill 2.
That's your quota.
That's right.
No dying until your quota's met. Right. So I guess Jorah wasn't the only one. You got Bran and Jaime up front too. So I guess it makes sense. You got to lead, right, by example.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that it was a
that's
characters there, yeah.
And that's I feel like that's driving my point home. They're like, this is it. Let's do this. Let's do it. I'm not going to be in the back commanding orders because we're all going to die today anyway. So it just felt like everybody was sort of accepting that this is it. This is totally it. We're going to die, but let's just go out. Let's go down swinging.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
I wish Jaime had his other hand.
He wouldn't be Jaime.
I know. That's true. I understand.
Not
big green screen. But every time that Jaime's swinging with that left, I just keep picturing like I'm not a fighter, but if somebody took away my right hand and they gave me a big heavy sword, I'd just be like, well, like anything, you know what I mean? But he's still good, but he would just, the war would have been over earlier if he had his right hand. He'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we have Grey Worm leading his troops.
The Unsullied, right? They're, and they put the Unsullied in an interesting position, right? Because
another group that they just kind of threw under the
these
bus.
are folks who are not going to back away. They don't fear things. I would have liked to seen more of a battle, right? And there was, right? There was like the just overwhelming dead, just overcoming everybody. But I always want to see some nice fight scenes. It's like a video game. You need like the mini boss fights, and you need the main boss fights. This episode needed more boss fight scenes.
There was so much going on, man. Everybody was fighting,
I know,
everybody
but
just got their small little
I needed to see more besides just all of the folks we just showed killing dead people. I wanted to see some more. One of the things that really got me about this episode was there was no the White Walkers. They didn't do anything. They did nothing in this episode, and that I was disappointed with that.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see more of those guys fighting and killing people, and maybe somebody killing them besides just John or Sam, right? I wanted to see more of that.
So you had the Night King in so we'll talk about what happens later, obviously, but when you kill one of the other White Walkers, who falls because of that? Just everybody that they themselves have raised, or
yes, the ones that they raised, and that happened. I think it was last season is where they found that out.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, I don't know. You're making me sad, Mkbean.
Listen, it was still a good episode. I like it. I just wanted a little bit more, right? I did like the fact
you said you didn't like it.
I did like the episode. I didn't like it as much as I did last night.
When I watched it, when I woke up, I changed my mind. That's me.
I didn't like it as much. I gave it a solid 8.
Mkbean thinks he could have done much better.
All right, I'm gonna click the leave co-stream button real quick for Mkbean, and thanks for joining.
Mr. Negativity here.
I'm just kidding. All right, let's move on. We got lots of slides to get through.
Yep. Yeah. So Danny and John, they start getting on their dragons, right? And they're, laying down some fire. And then, and this is the part that I thought was really, really awesome, right? With the Night King, that
there we go.
Literally he brought winter with him. That huge storm that you could barely see was there. You know what I mean? It was like this huge wall of just, I don't know, snow, wind, whatever. And then we had a really cool dragon fight, which was pretty cool, right? You had the 3
intense.
dragons.
That was intense.
Yeah.
I thought for sure a dragon was going down there.
Me too. I did too.
That was, and I knew this scene. I mean, I'm sure everybody. So from the moment that this dragon died last season and was raised, you knew there was going to be a dragon on dragon fight, and I was like, "This is that." I actually don't want to watch that scene. Everybody knew that was coming, and it was vicious. It was heartbreaking. You know what I mean? Because they're siblings, and look how cute they are.
Like ripped part of the jaw off or something, right?
Something.
Yeah.
Part of his face got ripped off in the fight. That was crazy.
Ugh.
But yeah, that's on this whole fight scene though, it was just interesting, and even it was kind of weird. I don't know if you guys thought it was a weird shot, but when the Night King fell off his dragon, did you see that?
Yeah.
He was just like falling down, kind of just looking up at her, like
I'll be fine.
I'll be,
I'll be fine.
See you down
What do you
there.
think
There's trampoline below me. I'll be
Die
good.
when
Don't
I
worry.
hit the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll see you on the ground. See you in a little
Yeah.
He didn't care. I don't care.
It's just kind of weird. There's like no emotion. That's what it was. There's no emotion, and maybe when you're dead, you have no emotion. I guess.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, the whole time he was
So
Sammy,
I'm going to
two
challenge
expressions: bored and
I'm going
bored.
to challenge that. I don't know if there's a picture of it later, but there was a moment in there when, and you knew it was coming too, when she says Dracarys and just fries the Night King.
We've got some pictures of that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll get. And I'm like, yeah, he's fine. But if I'm not mistaken, I saw a smirk
Yeah.
I saw a smirk coming from him in that
Yep.
moment.
See, Sammy had it right. He said 2 expressions: bored and gloating.
Yeah.
You got it perfect.
Yeah.
That's crushing it. Either bored or bored and gloating. Oh, he's like, I'm so tired of winning.
And now, here comes like the retreat, right? And this was awesome, right? They're all retreating back into Winterfell. And, Grey Worm is like, all right, my Unsullied are going to stay here and we're going to protect the folks that are retreating back in. He's basically, again, sacrificing his army so that the rest of the folks can get back into Winterfell and defend there.
Yep.
I like Grey Worm.
Yeah.
Look what One Hoop
He's a
is
good
saying
dude.
here. One Hoop is saying he's been undead for 100 centuries. How long has he been a thing?
Who, the Night King?
Night King.
So, the stories are like 10,000 years. But one of the things that I heard with the pilot that they're shooting for, because they're going to do a
prequel thing.
Yeah, they're going to do the prequel thing. And one of the things that George had said about it, like I'm on a first name basis with him. George, what he said was,
G-Dog.
yeah, he had mentioned that, the stories were about 10,000 years, but in fact, it may not be that long, right? It may only be like 5,000 years. So I think we'll find out, hopefully, if that show gets picked up. We'll hear a little bit more about it.
Oh, boy, if.
Be dumb not to, right?
Oh.
Yeah, it would be.
I want to be an actor. I want to be on that show. If anybody knows people making that show, say you got a buddy Skiz. I'll do it. Fine. I'll do it. I'll be on it. I can't imagine how amazing it must be to be a part of a program like this. It must be just absolutely astounding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me jelly.
So we get to the next scene, and this brought back some Lord of the Rings vibe for me. Do you remember the battle? I think it was the
Helm's Deep.
Yeah, when they were climbing up the walls, the orcs were like trying to figure out how to get up the walls, and they were basically like using each other to get up the wall.
Yeah.
Remember that's what I was seeing here. I'm like, oh my gosh, this feels like Lord of the Rings all over again.
And they did that, I believe, in World War Z, and they do that. Anything that's like zombie-esque, they become like, and you'll see it. I don't know if we have a picture later, but you'll see where like there's a fire, and they start to sacrifice themselves so they can create a bridge. It's a very insect swarm mentality, right? Yeah. It's all part of one movement, and they just use each other. That's what ants do, right? Ants have to get across a pond. They sacrifice themselves, they drown themselves, and their bodies become part of a bridge, and the rest walk over it. So it's just like a swarm mentality, and that's a hard nut to crack when you're fighting them.
What it reminded me of was a few seasons ago, the episode titled Hard Home, and that's the one where they first kind of battled, and Jon killed that White Walker. If you remember, these guys, the dead people, right? They were literally just falling off that cliff. They didn't even care, right? They were just falling off, getting back up, and charging again to fight. Yeah, that's what it really reminded me of.
Yeah,
but they were at a standstill. It was they had to be told to do that, right? You saw the Night King, like
I did,
like,
but that exactly.
He's like, all right, guys, here's what you're gonna do, right?
He's the queen. He's like what a queen would be in any sort of like, beehive or whatever is here, do this and off you go. Yeah. There's no questioning. They're just soldiers. They're just minions,
Buzz, buzz, buzz.
What's up, guy? Pretty crazy. All right. We'll move on.
Yeah. So now we're in Winterfell, right? The battle there, and just got, the whole reason why I have this picture is just because of the Warhammer. Okay.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's the whole reason
why. What are we
why.
gonna talk about here other than his cool weapon?
Because his dad, right? His dad had a war. May have not looked like that. That's actually more like a mace, I guess. But still, right? You got to listen. Gendry survived. I think a lot of us thought Gendry wouldn't survive, and he's one of the ones that did. So maybe he has a role to play a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, we got, we had to get pictures of at least all the kind of the main characters because there was so much going on, right? And that's one of the things I really did like about this episode was, yes, it was this huge, gigantic battle scene, but it did it did slow down a little bit so they could focus on these characters more. Again, I just wish they were fighting more of the mini bosses than just the minions. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, there was some of it, and we'll get to one of them in a minute. But yeah, I agree with the pacing. It wasn't just like battle. It was like battle. All right, let's cut away for a little bit, kind of show this other thing going on, and then back to battle. Like they really did break it up, I thought, really well. So that it wasn't just like this sensory overload smashing you for an hour and a half, you know. So I thought they did a really good job with the pacing.
Roller coaster there, you know.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on. Cool weapon.
I want that weapon.
Here's another little storyline, right?
So I have a question. So I'm not interested in getting in Mkbean's camp here about how it's the worst episode of that. It's not the worst. But I will say this: they got a couple things across. If your brain is super valuable and you are not a fighter, why don't you go hang out in the crypt, right? So they've got her down there, they've got Tyrion down there, but Sam. We've known this whole time. He doesn't. The only thing he's battling right now is diabetes, and he obviously has a great mind. I don't understand why he was out there. He was actually a liability the whole time.
Yeah.
Because
You know what I mean?
he was.
Yeah, we'll see in a second.
Yeah,
how
he
big
was.
of a liability he was. Yes.
But I loved. I think was it in the last episode where he was like going over his, right? Like, hey, listen, you know, I've killed a White Walker. I survived.
Right.
You know, the fist of the first man was it, whatever it was. But he's like going over all these things that he's done that nobody else alive had, and but he sucks at when it comes to fighting. He really does.
Yeah, he's not a fighter, and he's one of my favorite characters, and he's admitted he's not a fighter, but at that point he's a straight up liability. I would have been like, hey dude, why don't you go inside?
Yeah. And the person that you know was kind of saying that, like, oh great, you're here. Yeah, well, guess what? Comes to his rescue and himself.
Dolores said, it was harkened back to season 1 when they're all at the wall as recruits. You know, Ed here killed the white that was on top of him and said, "Come on, Sam, get up." Very similar to exactly what he would tell him in season 1 after he got his butt kicked in every single battle there at Castle Black. Told him to get up, and then the Lord Commander. He was the Lord Commanders of the Night's Watch. He died.
Oh, that was hard.
Yep.
Yeah, that was hard. And D-Dub says it. He's like, Sam spent the whole fight crying.
Yeah.
which
what?
I would.
You know who else did? The Hound.
They did, and he did, but that's because of all the fire.
Oh, so
there's
a difference between fire. I'm scared of fire, and you're scared of dead people. What's the difference?
Because there's no because for reasons. Because it's like there's nothing out in that world. There's nothing out in that world that makes Sam go, yeah, I'm okay with this. But the only thing that the Hound has against him is fire. That's it. That's the only thing that shuts him down. And everything else, he's good to go.
Yeah. Oh, things start getting intense inside the walls, right? There's just everywhere you look, there's people just battling for their lives. And this was the moment that I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to lose this.
Yes.
Like,
it wasn't that they were going to lose it. I thought that we were going to lose like characters, like these characters. I thought more were going to die.
I thought, well, I was fairly confident we weren't going to lose Jamie because of what we talked about last week. That there's still more to go with the Bronze situation. So I was like, I don't know what's happening here. There's no way he's gonna make it out alive with what they're showing us, and yet, you know, somehow
they survived.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, this was like a very good job, I thought, of them making you actually feel for the first time like there's no chance. There's no chance they're gonna win this.
Well, you know why you felt that way? Because there was no chance. Now here's what I'm going to say. And again, I don't want to get in Mkbean's camp here about it. This is the stupidest thing ever made in mankind. But I'm just going to keep making the description worse. But there was a scene where it was either both of these or one of them. They got overtaken by walkers. It was like a big old pile, and then it cut to another scene, and then it came back, and that person was like, "Whew, close one." And I was like, wait, how'd you get out of that? I was like, it's kind of a big deal. So I don't understand how they got out of it, man. They should have been gone.
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, we got to find out about Arya's weapon that we had been trying to figure out.
That was cool.
Yeah, right? Really cool, right? So there's some flashbacks of her training with the like the bow, right? But she had it made so it split in two. That was pretty cool. Knowing that it was going to be close quarter battles and like thin, small tunnels and stuff she's going to have to go through. Can't really fight with a big bow. So Yeah, it was pretty cool to watch her fight with that.
It was, and I didn't understand kind of what happened to her, right? Because she was kicking butt, right? I mean, she was just slicing people down.
She's so awesome.
And I didn't realize that and then there was a time where she was just like, she was done, right? Yeah, exactly, Moni, right? I didn't understand what really happened to her until after the episode they were talking about that she hit that wall and probably was concussed for that matter, right? And that really slowed her down.
Yeah.
And like when she was in the library, I'm thinking the same. I'm like, why isn't she just going after all of them? But she was, I think, just too dizzy, just too out of it to be able to do that.
Yeah, and you're right. They did cover that in the after show, and I remember thinking it at the time it happened, but then I lost sight of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know what I mean. I lost sight of him. I'm like, Ari, come on, do your stuff. But then later, I was like, oh, that's right. She took a little bump on the noggin, and even with a bump on the noggin, she was just amazing still. And just to get away from Arya herself, just Maisie Williams in general, like what an actress this kid is, dude. And what a journey. She was a very little kid when this show started. And we've got to watch her grow up, and she has been nothing but pure entertainment since the very beginning. And to see her to be one of the key people in this entire culmination of Winter is Coming was just so
and we talked about it before too. Her character in the book was left-handed, and she is actually right-handed, a person. And so she learned to fight with a sword with her left hand just to hold true to the character.
Wow.
So like every time you see her doing any kind of sword battles with her left hand, that's not her dominant hand. But over the years now she's become kind of ambidextrous because of that. So it kind of worked out for her in this case when she had to have two pieces, two weapons to control at the same time. She was like natural with it. It was cool.
Yeah. I'm proud of you, Impulse, for going after that word. I don't think I would have taken a shot at that on stream.
Ambidextrous.
Yeah, I can't even think about saying that word.
She's ambidextrous.
Yeah, I can totally spell it. A-B-S.
Right. That works.
I've always said it. She's one of my favorite characters in the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh no! Look at
you
this
want
one
boss battles, Mkbean? Here's your boss battle. Right.
I agree.
Here.
We needed more of these. Was this not awesome? Come on, was this not just amazing?
This was really good.
See, and this is where my wife had an interesting take on this scene here. Is that one of the things that Game of Thrones has done that no other show does is that it somehow has this gift of just maintaining its unpredictability, right? So sometimes shows, when they're so unpredictable, it becomes predictable because they're never going to do the predictable thing. Well, this right here, this ending for Dot, right? That's his name, Dot. Is it Dot? Is it the giant's name?
No, no, not that giant. That giant that they had one.
One.
No, one. They burned. He died at Winter.
Oh, so this is just another giant. All right, scratch that. But the premise being that it was like, this is what most writers would do: have the smallest warrior take out the biggest warrior because it's neat. It's David and Goliath, right? Yep. So because it's predictable, you would never expect Game of Thrones to do that. But because you wouldn't expect them to do that, it was unpredictable. It's like, hey, you actually
it's like a chess match with the viewers.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
I don't know about you guys, but when he busted in. And, she's standing there and he basically just runs up and just knocks her down. Mm-hmm. One of the first things I thought was, why didn't she even have a sword out, right? She's in this middle of a battle and maybe there was no one by her, but I'm telling you right now, I'm having my weapon out and in hand if there's a battle. I'm not going to have that thing sheathed in something. It's going to be out. And I'm going to be swinging at things. I don't care if Skiz comes near me. I'm swinging at him. I don't care. He may have blue eyes. But I just didn't understand that part, why she didn't have that out. But it didn't matter because she got up.
She's always had that moxie, her character, right?
Yeah.
So she wasn't going to just run away after she got smashed. She was going to go back after him knowing that there's pretty much no chance she's going to take him out without dying herself.
Right. And that's what I liked about that, is that you have no choice but to wonder the whole time, is this girl, is she just got a silver tongue? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She commands all this, but is she just feel a sense of empowerment because she's always just naturally been empowered by people around her? And in this scene, it was like, no, that's who she is. It was like, it doesn't matter what family she was born into, what her position in life was. This is who she is. And that's what makes her such a iconic character in the entire series, is because she is a little one that's, it has a giant heart and a giant mouth, but it turns out that she is a full-blown warrior at the very core.
Yeah, and they set up a very David versus Goliath scene right here as well, right? So
yeah,
I was thinking that this is probably the giant from. Actually, that's probably where this giant came from.
From where?
Hardhome. Remember, that's that one where Jon had that battle with White Walker, and he was. That's that one, where the first time where the Night King raised the dead in front of them.
Oh.
It's one of the pictures that you have behind you where he's doing his little wiggle, 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 wiggle.
All right. So we gotta see how well the fire works now.
Oh man, just toasty, right? She sees him and does the old Jacaris on him. And yeah.
And he just smirks.
He did a Luke Skywalker. Is what he did.
What?
Should we see it?
Well, yeah, go for it. Yeah. He did a Luke Skywalker. Is what he did.
The thing was, like, it felt like it took 3 days for that fire to clear. Like, I could have got up, went to the bathroom, made a sandwich, got another drink, and came back, and then waited another minute just to see this.
Yeah, look at that smirk.
Yep.
Well, how's that Luke Skywalker?
Don't you remember from the last Star Wars when Kylo Ren shot him up? He was standing there. All that firepower went to go shoot him, and he was an astral projection of himself. And then he kind of just dusted it off. Don't remember that? Come on, man.
Yeah.
But why is his armor not burnt? I mean, is that fireproof armor as well? Not that I wanted to see the Night King naked, but just saying.
Why? Come on, baby, come on.
That's actually, you know what, dude? That would have been a commitment to detail if they did that.
Yeah, you don't need to show the whole body, just right there.
Yeah, you give him a smooth area like a GI Joe. You don't have to have, you know what I mean?
Smooth area.
Oh, now we're gonna do a whole other philosophy discussion on whether or not they actually have genitalia. All right, so we'll move on then.
Oh, that's a little different face.
Yeah, so this was after he noticed that the Night King was still alive.
Yeah.
He noticed that, and this is where Jon, has to be typical Jon hero. He's got to run after the Night King to battle him.
Yeah.
Of course, that doesn't work out too well for him.
No.
I love how the Night King's just kind of strolling down the path, kind of hears someone behind him. Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, he just turns around. He's like, that was another moment of hopelessness. You know what I mean? Like, he just turns around and looks at Jon, who he could easily take, and he decides, I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to go like this.
No, dude, you got to do the shimmy when you do it. Come on, man.
He doesn't do this, dude.
What? That's what the gift shows, man.
He doesn't do that, dude. He goes like that.
Well, we have a freeze frame of it. He's like, yeah, we'll just do this.
Yeah.
There he is right there. Yep.
So here's a question. I have a question for your face, Mkbean. So, is it have a range of like a walkie-talkie? Like how far out? Like how is it all the people on the planet who are dead aren't rising? It's got to be like a.
Let me tell you something.
Cersei's at King's Landing going, what the?
Why is my son and daughter still alive? What the hell?
Oh, jeez.
Now, let me tell you something. The Night King is only a story in the books. There is no character in the books for him. He hasn't been introduced yet. So I don't know. This is all whatever's in the show. So there's the legend of the Night King, but there is no confirmed, hey, I'm going to take these babies and I'm going to make them into White Walkers. None of that's been confirmed in the books.
I'm going to say it's a radius of 250 yards.
I say 250 meters.
That's about the same.
Anyway,
just because of where they're at.
Do they use the Imperial system there? I'd probably not.
Oh, man. Look at him.
Yeah. And then, so Dany comes to help, right? Dany and Jorah. So so Jon's about to get killed, right? And this, Jorah just comes with that big great sword of his that was Sam's family sword, right? And just helps him out. And then Dany comes down there to help as well. And then you got these two just, they're in a world of hurt.
And let me, okay, again.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
I get Mkbean's camp that he's taken poos that were better than this episode. But I'm telling you that when she's on the dragon and when Jon Snow is on his dragon and the dragon goes and kills like 1,000 army undead, you know what you should do? You should do it again. Like, I don't understand. Like, they came down, dude, and they went, and then they came back up, and they're all, so how was that?
That felt good. We're good.
Yeah, dude, do it again. Does the dragon need to like go to get gas?
Yeah, they got to recharge, man. You know,
that's like that would make more sense.
It takes about 5 minutes or so, I'm sure.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'd be like, oh, that worked well. Do it again, and then after that time, do it again. Now you've done it 3 times. Do it a 4th time. Like, don't ever stop. Don't just keep on going.
Probably needed like a lozenge or something.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez, how much do they have in the tank? You know what I mean? And I think it was Moni who said, we didn't about the part. Yeah, when the dragon landed and Ice attacked the dragon, I feared for Drogon's life. I wasn't sure if he was going to make it or not, because he had like
who attacked?
When all of those the whites they got on top of Drogon and oh man,
I thought that was it for sure.
Yeah, never give Skiz a dragon. Not even
well, give it me. I want one.
Of course,
I want one. I want a dragon and I want a Tyrion.
And keep Tyrion in my pocket.
Wrong.
And I want a direwolf. I want it all.
Yep.
All right. So then it cuts back to Arya and what's his name? Beric. Yep.
Beric Dondarrion. Yep.
He, I think he ran out of lives. Right. He only had only had a number of them. So
he did. Yeah. He ran out of lives.
We saw this one coming. This wasn't a surprise to me at all. Right.
But he saved her. He really did. He threw his flaming sword at that guy.
He helped hold him back, right? He was like blocking the door for a little bit, help him get a little bit of room.
Yeah, right. He kind of had his arms out, trying to hold them all back. Something. Yeah.
I thought he was going to say, hold the door, but he didn't.
That would have been bad.
Door. Oh, my goodness. That scene.
Yeah, pretty rough.
When he chucked that sword up.
He had to. He did.
He did have to.
Oh.
It's a good death scene, though.
Yeah. I'm sad.
Then we're gonna meet up with Mel. I'm like, I'm not gonna get her name right, so I'm just gonna call her Mel.
Melisandre.
Melisandre. I get her and the other one mixed up. This is where she basically tells Arya exactly what Arya needed to hear, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Now, here's the question. Did you guys think that, because I predicted last week how this was going to end, when she said that, did you guys think that it was going to be her?
No.
Not necessarily.
No.
I knew it right when she said it, right? Because, you've closed brown eyes, green eyes, and blue eyes.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Well, I mean, I knew she was talking about killing some bad dudes, but I didn't think it was going to be the main bad dude, I just figured she's going to go out there, get back in the battle, and go kill some peeps. I didn't really...
Hey, how old is Melisandre really?
Man, I don't know. I don't know if they ever mentioned it in the show or not, but she's got to be 30. She's pushing 30.
Come on.
Oh, in real life?
No. We know.
No, I'm only kidding. I have no idea how old.
She's like hundreds of years old, isn't she?
She took the little necklace, what do you call that thing? The little choker off. She looked like she was about 8 million years old. Yeah. Immediately. She didn't look that old last time she showed us her true form.
So she's about a year older than me.
She looked like she got about another 1,000 years older since the last time we saw how old she really was. Did she not? I mean, it was like, wait a minute. It's only been like, 10 years maybe? I don't know. She
looks good there.
just keep that choker on, please. Keep it
Yeah,
on.
Yes, exactly.
Go ahead.
Do
No, I
not
should
take
just
that.
leave that necklace on him. Good.
Oh,
Oh my.
and then something we kind of saw us coming to was Theon's role. I think this was pretty predictable, right? That he had to come back, he had to redeem himself. We knew he was going to guard Bran, and it was pretty obvious that he was going to go out in a heroic manner here to make up for his past.
Yeah, and what Bran said to him, "You're a
Yeah.
good man.
That's what he needed to hear.
Thank you." He needed to hear that. He's always wanted to be a good man, and all of his wrongdoings in the past have just haunted him.
Yeah.
And this was huge, you know, and the thank you was it was sort of like, you know, you're a key element in what's about to ensue. And in reality, what it really means is that in this moment, Theon was just providing a distraction. He was, providing a pause for what's about to happen, and they needed that delay.
Right.
But maybe he could have ran around in a circle or something. I don't know.
Just
I don't know.
ran a little slower.
Yeah.
Could have done a dance off, whatever.
Yeah, dance off would have been good.
Ran a little slower.
We need what's his name, Chris Pratt there to
Exactly.
help him
Little
with
dance
that.
off.
I'm coming for you. And then he's just like, and he's like looking over his shoulder, waiting for something else to happen.
It was good though. I mean, so he got to hear.
So Bran has had moments, right?
Yeah, you got to hear Bran forgive him, and this was like,
Yeah,
he had
and even
gotten
what he said
forgiven
above there.
from Sansa, he'd gotten forgiven from Jon, pretty much, right? And then so he got to hear it from Bran. So I mean, he pretty much got to hear that from most of the Starks.
And it even started earlier with Bran, and Doom put it in the chat. Everything you did brought you here. We're home. Right? It's like, Bran has been pretty robotic in the last 2 seasons, and he had some touching moments. Now, again, maybe they weren't touching to him. Maybe he just knew he was playing a role to get Theon to do whatever he needed to do. But I have a question for you guys. So earlier in the Godswood, they went to Bran and Theon, and while they were fighting, Bran, decided to go into the werewood, right? Decided to kind of go into all those ravens, crows, whatever. He was in them for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Like, what in the world was he doing?
Yeah, unfortunately, I do need to agree with you there. I was like, okay, so he's going to get some recon that he's going to use, and nope.
No.
He's just flying in the air, pooping on people. And he comes back.
It was bigger than that.
Acid poop.
It was bigger than that. He had to fulfill the prophecy that someday he would fly. So he just had to do it one more time, because it could have been an end. So he had to fly one more time. Yeah, it really didn't serve any purpose at all.
I blame myself for listening to it. I was like, he's going somewhere. This is going to be deep.
No. Bran just wanted to fly one more time, so...
Yeah, it just seemed kind of weird to me, right? Like, all right, what is he doing?
Oh, look at Mr. Grofaniak. He says that he thinks he was drawing in the Night King.
With the Ravens, you think? I don't know.
Maybe, dude. Man, you don't know.
He knew where he was. Okay?
Yeah, but he's got a connection to Bran, dude.
He doesn't need the Ravens for that. He's got his mark on his hand.
Yeah, but maybe just go with it.
He just wanted to fly. He just wanted to fly. That's my theory. He just, let me spread my wings one more time. Why not?
You know what, dude? Maybe it had no payout, and it would have been great if Bran came back with his eyes like they're all rolled up, and if he came back, he's like, "Yeah, I got nothing." After like 10 minutes of flying around.
Yeah.
Can we get some more backup in here? We need
sorry,
more
guys.
than about 6
sorry.
people.
I just checked things out, and I'm sorry, but we're totally.
This is messed up that you've got the beeper, man. This is messed up. Okay?
I want a beeper.
I want a beeper too.
I moved on to this freeze frame, and for a second I was like, when did Jack Black join the show? What is happening here?
It is seriously a terrible screenshot, but right?
It does look like Jack Black. Yeah, that was a
What's Jablin, Jables? What's going on here?
Yeah, but this was so funny, right? Like, John couldn't get in. He was like, tick a move, right? He couldn't get past Viserion, right? And it was kind of frustrating to me. Like, I'm like, dude, just do something. Quit hiding behind these little things. But of course, I mean, what are you gonna do when you got like fire, ice getting blown at you? I don't know, but
I think that's really cool right there, though. I mean, the fact that the dragon's like blowing icy fire or whatever, like like wasn't like fire and ice. That's like the main thing, right? So.
Well, what I find interesting is that, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of just fire in general, I think blue is the hottest, if I'm not mistaken. So it makes me wonder, is that dragon legitimately more powerful than the other ones at this point?
So
I don't know if
everything John hid behind should have just melted immediately to
if he
ashes.
blew long enough, it was gonna, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But they have a 5 minute.
Nice Soka.
They have a 5 minute cooldown, so.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on from this.
So it was pretty. So even before this happened, though, you had that smirk again from the gloating Night King. It took him about probably a good 5 to 10 seconds just looking at Brandon, thinking, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you."
For a second, I thought he was gonna start monologuing. It was
Yeah,
like,
it was a while. And why does he have that really cool sword if he's never gonna use it?
He was.
Oh, yeah.
He was reaching for it when she came out. He was like this. His hand was about ready to grab it. So we almost got a chance to see him use it, but Arya decided, you know what? I'm just gonna make like the biggest leap anybody on the planet's ever made. It was like they were on the moon. All of a sudden, she comes flying in.
There's a trampoline, dude. There's a trampoline in there.
Oh, they made trampolines back then. Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay, that makes sense then.
But we got a couple shots on how this all played out.
Oh, right. Yeah, we can
we've got basically
frame by frame this. He grabs her, and then boom, you can see that he's got her by the arm there that the knife was in. So he's got one arm on the throat, one arm on the stabbing hand, and she drops it and catches it with the other one, and just happens to be right in front of the spot in his armor that was unprotected.
Yeah. I would have gone.
First off, it's Valyrian steel, so it's gonna go through stuff no matter what.
But there wasn't anything there. It was like a hole in his armor for some reason.
It's Valyrian steel. I thought that was dragon glass.
No, that's the cat's paw dagger. That's the one that the assassin came in to kill Bran.
To kill Bran with, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that well, obviously it does. But were we, as audience members, supposed to know at this point that Valyrian steel will also do the job?
Yes, because that's how Jon killed the White Walker in Hardhome.
Oh, I thought it was only fire or dragon glass. Because when he was giving the tutorial to Cersei, he never mentioned Valyrian steel. Remember?
Sam is like, it's almost like Bran knew that would happen. Yeah.
when
he gave her the dagger, right? Many moons
That's my
ago.
foreshadowing stuff I've got in there. Yeah, I don't know it later, but yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're gonna get into some of the. If you just paid attention to the clues, you would have known exactly how this was gonna play out, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's
but
the thing
me
about
last
this scene.
night. I knew it. I knew everything.
I'm gonna gloat.
The thing about this scene is, to me, what they did here was just in this one scene was they did a micro example of what the show has been doing to us since season 1. So one of your favorite characters, something happens and it's just this huge low, and because it's such a huge low and they do it to you over and over again, when something good happens, it's a huge high, right? So it's like it's a up and down thing. Well, here comes Arya, and I'm like, yay! And then he grabs her, and I'm like, no! And then she drops the blade and stabs her. I'm like, yay! Like, this is totally like, in a single scene within a few seconds, I was super exhausted. That's why I got my towel in my head back. I was like, just in that scene alone, it was just, they just ran me through all those emotions, man. I was like, just get it over with. Oh, so cool, though.
I was really, really happy that it killed him, though. I really was. It will not happen like that in the books. I guarantee it. George told me.
You're saying you're saying that you're happy that it was Arya
for a drink with George.
I was, right, because Jon is always the hero, right? It's always Jon this, Jon that. It was good to see Arya. I've always been she's my favorite character in the book, and again, I know it's not going to end this way for her, but
they did a good job making you think it was going to be Jon, because he was working his way there.
Absolutely.
He was making his way through the battlefield, and none of the White Walkers cared that he was walking straight through. And so you thought, okay, he's going to make it. And
they could have had him get past the dragon, and it had maybe maybe kill a couple of the White Walkers. That would have been cool. But whatever. Won't get my mini boss scenes.
Boy.
And then one of the more tragic losses of the night, I felt.
It was.
Oh,
dude. Look at her crying right
Amelia
there.
Clark just crushed this scene.
They both did. They both did. They both crushed the scene, I thought.
Crushed it playing dead,
It was an epic.
It was. It was a great, great scene, yeah.
Oh, that sucked.
Yeah, he's been in the show since the beginning, since the first episode.
Oh my gosh, that scene was so rough, dude. Look at all the bodies all around him.
I know, huh? At least it was a nice soft spot to, die on.
Jeez.
I mean, hopefully-
Oh man,
Her
that
face,
dude
her
really...
face right there is just like so real. Like
It
she is
is,
one
dude.
heck of an actress. But you know what? I mean, honestly, they've been together, right? They've been making these episodes for many, many years, and they're almost in every scene together. So if you think about it, the actual bond that these two have in real life, and then for them to this is the moment where they're done, right? They're done
okay,
being
if that's
together
true,
in the
wait,
show.
wait. If that is true, when one of you die and naked and scared, do you guys get the same type of scene?
I bawl like a baby.
I do too.
Yeah,
Whatever.
every single time.
I want to see the face, though. I want to see the face, like Amelia Clark's.
Oh man,
I don't want to talk
we should start doing face cam, Skiz. It was just like, oh no, my Freddy.
Just crying over. You would get so exhausted because it would just be you crying over my body season after season. You're dead again.
Oh man. All right. Yeah, and then she said it, right? She said she was, she wasn't gonna make it to Dawn.
I think she made it to Dawn.
I didn't really. Yeah, she kind of did there. It was a close call.
Technicality.
But I didn't think it was because she was gonna just off herself. Like she could have lived another 10 million years.
I guess at that point, right? There's nothing left, right?
She felt like her job was done. Yeah.
The Great War was over.
But it's not. There's more. She didn't want to be involved in the next.
She didn't care about
her
that.
entire being has been about purpose. Like she embodies what it is to want purpose in life. Her entire being is about purpose. And after this, she had nothing left. You know what I mean? She had no reason anymore, and she'd been around for a very long time. Maybe, I'm with you. Keep the necklace on and go celebrate, man.
You were just hoping for more of some old school scenes there. Yeah.
Right. Like I said. So the foreshadowing. Let's get into the foreshadowing of Arya's killing the Night King. So we've got three slides here that talk about the three images. So the first one here, right? This is first season. Look at there's Arya at like maybe 4 years old.
Seriously.
Exactly, Moni, right? What is he teaching her? And this was a line that was picked up in this episode, right? What do we tell Death, right?
Not today.
Right? And so that was brought back into this one here.
Yep.
Let's go to the next one here. First time she ever met Melisandre was when she was with Gendry and Beric Dondarrion, and Beric and Theresa Moore were selling Gendry to her. That's when he got to go to get the leeches on him. But she was pissed off. Arya was mad, right? And she even said here, she talked to her about the things that she saw in her, right? That she's going to close all these eyes, brown eyes, green eyes, blue eyes, all these different eyes, just like she did in this episode, right? And we're going to see each other again. So she knew something was going on.
This was the
here.
scene I was forgetting about last night when I was watching.
Yeah, me too, bro.
Yeah, I was like, what is their history? I totally forget.
Yeah.
And so again, this is why the show is a different animal, right? This never happens in the books. These two characters never meet up in the books at all. And this is why I think, again, it goes down different paths, which is great. This is its own thing. And I enjoy the do. It's my favorite show on TV. So we've got this portion here. And then of course the last, I think, foreshadowing here. Oh, not the last. I think there's maybe two more, but this one here, right? Remember this? Bran gave her the dagger. He gave her the dagger. And I remember we talked about this last year, kind of like looking at her, knowing what was going to happen. Little did I know, and I think little did anybody know that was the dagger. Maybe, I don't know, but the look he gave her when he gave her that dagger, he knew something was going to happen.
That's it. That's what I agree with. He knew something. And that's what we talked about last time I was able to do the stream with you guys was 2 weeks ago. I was talking about what my take on Bran's, awareness is. It's not that he knows all, he knows everything. He just knows what he needs to in that moment. And I think when he handed it over, it was straight up like, this is something that has to happen. I don't know why, but I know you need to take it. Well, then get back to me. And I think that's what that is. He just knows what has to be done. And he knows a lot of stuff, but I don't think he knew the end of everything in that moment there,
Yeah, so Moonswolf is asking, because this is what I thought initially. Did Arya go back in the crypts to get the dagger back from Sansa? I thought she gave her that dagger as well, except for when I saw her fighting, I realized that she had that with her still, and that she must have given her some dragon glass.
It was just a dragon glass dagger.
Yeah.
I thought
initially it wasn't.
It did look similar, but you could see the blade was clearly
yeah, because this has like a dragon glass hilt to it. So.
Yeah. Yep.
So
that actually was it for the foreshadowing.
Oh, was it? I was gonna say the only other foreshadowing was season when she was fighting Brienne. Remember when they were just sparring, and Brienne thought she had her, but she had that knife come up right at the end.
Yeah.
Very similar move here.
Yeah, agreed. That was that scene. Not that we're here to talk about that scene or whatever, but that scene when she was fighting Brienne was very important, because in that scene, what it proved was she is actually the most skilled fighter on the entire show.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's Brienne is 3 times her size and is, to date so far, the most skilled fighter, and Arya owned her. I was like, what is happening?
And the thing with her is that I think she has, with all the training that she's had, I think she has detached herself from things, right? So where Jon is a great fighter, but his emotions get in the way all the time. Yeah. I don't think that would happen with her.
Right.
No, I agree with you. Yeah. She showed a lot of pause when she killed Littlefinger.
That's the slide deck. I thought it was a great episode. I thought they did a really good job. And I can't imagine the logistics of setting up the cinematography for the battle. And I thought they did a good job with pacing, like we talked about. So and then again with all the characters, right? They chose the right people to expel, right, and the right people to keep. I think. Where did we end up, Mkbean, on our little? Who's gonna die? Who's gonna? Did I?
Go on. Let's just go on. I got something.
You mean I did? I did.
This guy.
Oh boy. Yeah, that
wins one thing in his life.
Mkbean, that's what I had to watch the show with. Just all night. Woo!
I got my clipboard and my checklist. I'm like, yep.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
I don't know why I thought
every time at one point he was ready, like popped his own champagne. He's like,
that's so stupid. Whatever. But hey, hold on a second. I do have something I want to bring up here, and this is kind of what I brought up at the beginning, right? Again, I do. I think this was a good episode, but hear me out here, right? For so long, we've been building this battle up. For so long, we've been building up the prince that was promised, right? And it being either Jon or Arya, and this whole thing about this. It had nothing to do with this battle. It had nothing to do with the Night King. And that's the part that really got me, was like, why? Why do we even care then about these characters if there's nothing behind them? You've been hyping this up for so long and using this language, and it's like they forgot about it. That's the part that got me.
What do you mean? What do we care about? What character? What do you mean?
Well, first off, the prince that was promised, right? Azor Ahai, right? They've been talking about him since season 2 with Stannis, because that's what she thought he was. And then she realizes, oh, no, it's Jon. But then some people are like, well, maybe it's not Jon. Maybe it's Dany, because I think it was Missandei who said, well, it's common misinterpretation of prince or princess. So, they've been talking about this, but the prince or princess that was promised had nothing to do with this final battle about ending the Night King, or the Great Ether, as they call it in the book. That's what they call the Night King, or the big bad really is the Great Ether. And so that's the thing. It's like, why did you build this up if you didn't have some type of closure with that? Because that's a huge thing in the books.
There's still stuff to come, dude.
Yeah.
Look at you. Look at you.
I think that is not going to be brought up anymore. Hopefully it is. Who knows?
Maybe they just strayed from that path,
Maybe Arya's a dude.
So after the show, this is usually one of my favorite pieces too, is to see the preview for the next episode and really see what we can get out of it. They didn't give us a whole lot. This was one of the shortest previews I feel like we've seen. It felt very short anyway. I'll take a risk and I'll play it this week. We'll see what happens with that.
Oh, what are you talking about, man?
Should I just freeze frame it?
Freeze frame it.
All right.
What are you talking about?
So the first time we did the review, I played this preview on stream, and when I posted the video on YouTube, HBO was like, "Yeah, no, you're not allowed to do that." So
I thought it was because of my predictions.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll scan through it. Maybe I won't get in trouble.
Yeah, we didn't last week, right? So here we have the golden.
You cut out there. Say it again.
The Golden Company here in King's Landing.
Yep. It looks much warmer and brighter there, so maybe we'll actually get to see a battle. So that could be cool.
Exactly. That'd be nice.
Stop your crying.
All the got all the Lannister flags. Oh, look at her boyfriend back there. She's got a new outfit too. I love her costume.
Is she really smitten with this guy now? Come on.
No.
What is she doing?
He's her little pet. Or she's her, that's what he is. Yeah, he's the pet.
He's a pet.
All right, what else they give us? Looks like some post-war cleanup.
Rebuilding. Yep. Oh, that's Sansa though. Okay, is that her there in the foreground?
Yeah, that looks like Sansa there.
Red hair.
Oh, here.
Sophie Turner.
I'm like, what? Down there? What? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, another big face in the side of the screen. Yeah, gotcha. Do we?
Oh, see, there's Gendry. There's Arya.
Okay.
I think that's Sam behind Sansa.
This here.
Looks like Sam's. Yep.
Can't
yeah.
really
So this
tell.
is
that's
just random
Gendry.
Dude 1.
That's his name in the credits. Yep.
That'd be fine. I'd take it.
Who we got? Wait for it.
I don't know who that guy is. Another random dude.
Yeah.
Random Dude 2.
Random Dude 2. Okay. Good. Yep, we're gonna see.
She seems all, she's giving her little speech here, telling people, hey, we won the battle.
We did it.
Now we're going to go south and we're going to, get everything else.
Look at the eunuch. Still hanging on. How's he been doing this? Like, I forgot about him for the longest time, and he popped up. He's like, yeah, I'm doing all right. Like, I'm still alive.
Yeah, this is an interesting scene that came right. She's got the North like cheering for her, which is kind of interesting.
Right. This was the first time they've actually not shown disdain. Right.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I kind of wanted to get to earlier. Mkbean, you had said that the Night King had no purpose. I disagree. I think he was meant to bring all these kingdoms together. Mm-hmm. That's what ended up happening here. Here's a shining example of it right now.
That's deep right there.
Yeah.
Have you guys?
I don't know.
Dismiss it.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen
bring everyone together?
You guys seen the meme going around with Emilia Clarke in the face she made to Sansa in the last one, and it's like, add your own meme. She better be careful. She might be up for another one with these faces she's pulling. Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Look at them all going crazy.
All right, so we find out at least one of the dragons is still alive. That's good.
I thought 2 of them were in here.
I hope there's 2. I'm so worried about them only being 1.
Let's find out. So we'll scan through.
Oh.
Can you see that?
Arya's kissing, hopefully Gendry. It could be Jon. You never know.
She's like, well, we lived, so I guess we can continue this thing.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know if I want anything real serious.
Oh, this is good. There's a lot of people in here that we can start to pick out, and make sure that people survived. And I think you pointed it out too, right there.
Right there. There's Ghost.
There we do. I mean, it could just be a really hairy
fat cow
dude with no pants. Kind of looks
really
like maybe
pale.
It could be like a centaur.
Yeah.
Right there, you see? Yeah,
the town sheep. Yeah, who do we got in this picture? We've got Dany right next to Ghost there. To the right is Spider. To the right of him, Melisandre. Further, we've got Tyrion.
Mm-hmm.
Right behind
and
Dany
check this
is Sam.
What's Impulse.
Here was one of my failure predictions. Davos. I believed he was going to die. He's right there.
Thank you. See who that is? Bring your mouse over to the left. Like all that line of people. Over more. Keep going. And stop. Go back a little bit and up. Go up. Oh, right there.
Is that the Hound?
Is that you?
I have no idea.
That's Random Dude 74.
I hate.
Oh, I suck.
True. So this is
But
a good
they're
shot to
burning
figure
the
out like
dead.
who's. Oh, the hound's back there. There he is.
Yep.
Yeah.
There he is. Okay.
Ah, so awesome.
Cool.
You got to burn the dead. And now I don't think they're burning back to life. I think quickest and easiest way to dispose.
So we got about 2 or 3 syllables out of that whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think you
What?
were saying. I think you were saying that you don't think that they're burning them to finish the job. You think it's like a let's clean this mess up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe use the dragon. I can't say it enough.
He was
What are
on.
you doing?
He was on cooldown.
He can go out there and cough a couple more times.
All right, we get
Just random walking.
random
I love
walking.
the walk.
That's always the best. It
He
really
has
does.
the best
Oh,
walk.
So
so
are
there's
they-
the dragon. And this is a Targaryen
Wait,
ship.
What? Oh yeah. Okay. How do you know that's the other one and not the same one? They look different.
I think it's the color.
Okay. All right. I'll buy
But
it.
that's a Targaryen ship, so they're sailing somewhere.
This
Well,
one has a
you know.
mohawk.
They're tired of walking.
They could be fishing. They need food.
They're tired of walking. They're gonna take a boat.
It would take a long time to
Oh,
gallop
man.
down to King's Landing.
Nobody got time for that. We gotta get to the throne, man. There's only what 3 episodes left?
Ain't nobody
3.
got time for that. They got bronchitis.
Look at him again.
So-
He's like, oh, hey.
Here we go. This is reinforcing the pet thing. Look at him. Yeah,
wants to
this
be king.
is just. He's.
There they are.
Oh, okay. Well, hang on.
No, it would.
Got excited.
Did she
It would
always
be
have-
It would be not like unsatisfying, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one to kill her.
Did she get an extra guy?
No, that's the
Like an
King's
extra
Guard. That's
mountain?
their new armor.
Okay, because I mean,
I
she's
can't
always had
remember.
the one, right?
Yeah.
Well,
The
no,
brother.
they changed their armor a few seasons ago. That
Hey, let's do some cosplay together. You can Mkbean, you can be the hound, and I'll be the mountain.
And I'll be Tyrion.
You're not short enough. I didn't want
to be shorter. He's the
I was
shortest.
going to make that joke, but I'm
Oh.
like, no, that's mean, and he's not short enough.
Oh, you.
You,
You jerk.
you could be Arya.
Hey, that's not a bad one.
Oh man. All right. There we go. Oh yeah.
He's hurt.
He's
Yeah.
He's tore up, but yeah, we do get to see both of them, so that's a good sign.
That helps.
Hey,
Tore up. Wow.
are we sure that that's both of them, or is that?
Look, it's like Impulse is looking up at it too. Is it on your? It's on that
It's on the
60
monitor.
inch
on his
above
monitor
top
above you there.
screen? Yeah.
They're up there. I see them.
Yeah. See, now I gotta go like this. Hi, how are you? Oh wait,
Ooh,
that's
ooh.
the. It was
You start
a
making-
a second ago.
Start making out with the dragon. Careful, buddy.
Oh, now he's gonna slice my head off.
Do it now. Make out with John.
All right.
She doesn't look happy.
Well,
Maybe because John's leaving.
she never got an answer from Danny
Well,
about
maybe she
what
did.
happens when Danny takes the throne. So
Yeah, they sort of left that in
she's
limbo.
she's probably thinking about that. I'll tell you what, Sophie Turner, get a few glasses of wine in her, and she's a real hoot.
Yeah. Anybody who hasn't, I'm sure you've seen the meme, right? Or you've seen that. We're not going to cover it here, obviously. Mkbean will send it to you.
Please do.
Oh, it will blow your mind. And there's people I know who have seen it in chat. If you've seen, I'm just going to say Sophie Turner talking about Easter, say, I have, because it is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. We're not going to talk about it here.
Oh man, she did another one too today. There was another
Look at
one.
it. Somebody has. Did she really?
Yeah.
Who?
All right, what do we got
so
here?
that's John. Is that John? John and
Look,
Davos.
There's Gilly. Right.
Yeah, I think so.
She still has to walk.
So
on
that's why I
shit.
think. Yeah, that's why I think
She-
Sansa was sad because her brother's leaving again.
Ah. Okay.
Well, cousin,
Jeez.
whatever. There's the Targaryen fleet. So obviously they got
Oh.
some ships from somewhere,
Oh,
and she
yeah.
looks kind of happy. Oh, you know what? Maybe this is where she's seeing. I don't know. Maybe she's seeing one of their dragons is alive. In the battle. She
Hmm.
looks kind of happy there, though.
Look at that face.
The dragon.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's scary.
such a great job.
Yeah.
It really is, dude.
Yes.
I want one of those.
You want one of those now?
Well, I said I wanted a
You're gonna
dragon.
put it in your pocket as well.
Yeah. Mine. Gimme.
Cersei's waiting. She's look at it. She's just like, I can't wait to face these people that just destroyed the White Walker army. Like,
yeah, and saved everybody on the planet.
Your little, golden army is gonna be nothing after that.
But does she have? Do they have the army? Right? They lost a lot of the Unsullied. They lost a lot.
Yeah, but she does know that her army will actually burn when the dragons breathe fire on them, right? She knows that.
Yeah.
But she also has that little creepy scientist guy. Remember he made that thing.
Yeah. Oh, they have the thing that shoots the arrows at the big old things. Mm-hmm. Could be a thing.
The big old things.
And that is all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
So yeah. So what do we think? What do we think next episode's going to be like? Is it just build up to the next battle? I mean, I'm sure it's got to be with 3 episodes left, right? And we think maybe next episode's a build up. Episode 5 is the big battle of King's Landing. Then episode 6 would be the who takes the throne and the whole reprieve, right?
Yep, I think so. But I think these last 3 episodes, I think they're all like close to an hour and a half each as well. So it'll be interesting because it's not going to be that sensory overload of a battle for the entire thing.
Yeah, there should be a lot of meat to it, you would think.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
A lot of conversation. I want more Bran. That's what I want. I want more information from him.
Mr. Deadpan.
Yeah.
Creepy deadpan actor.
I don't like to do the prediction stuff, but I want to play a little bit.
Okay. What do you want to predict?
So, let's do this. Let's talk.
Let's go.
First of all, by the time this whole mess is over, I think Cersei will be dead. By the time this whole thing wraps up, I could be wrong. I think she will be dead. Question is how? And I'm all over the map. A big part of me thinks it's going to be Jaime, because he is somebody who, at his core, has to do the right thing. It's why he is the Kingslayer, because he took out the Mad King, and she's obviously showing signs of that type of behavior. I think that it'll be Jaime, but I think that's too obvious. I don't think it's going to be the case because it's too obvious. Oh. I believe that she will take her own life and leave the audience unsatisfied. That'll be her last middle finger. That will be the character's last middle finger to take herself.
I'm on board with that because I was actually thinking that she would just kind of slip and fall getting out of the tub and just hit her head and die. So I just figured like that would be a good way for her to go. Be pretty, don't want to be predictable, right?
Yeah.
So.
It'll be Jaime.
You think it'll be Jaime too?
Yep. It'll be Jaime.
People are hoping it's going to be Brienne. I that's what I'm saying. Jaime's my first instinct, but then I'm like, the way the show works, I think that they're going to commit to that character being super selfish and having to have control of everything, even her own fate. So we'll have to see. I don't think it'll be Arya. I think it's going to sound stupid what I'm about to say, but I believe that at this point that would actually be redundant.
Yeah,
me
too.
Arya to take her. Yeah.
So I think like in the books, I think maybe that's the case. I don't know.
Spoiler.
I don't know. What do you mean spoiler? They're not even written yet.
But you hang out with George all the time.
Yeah, you're on a first name basis. Wait a minute.
We are close to New Mexico.
Mkbean, you're George, aren't you? This is how you win bets.
I lost last week, man. I lost.
He's
barely.
How much money was on the line? Huh? Nothing.
None.
That's because he's hustling you, Impulse.
Oh yeah, bull shark style. All right,
here comes the real bet.
I'm done with the bets. Not gonna do it again. I'm gonna leave a winner.
No, I want to hear what you have to decide. What do you think, though? What's your thoughts there, Dippledop?
About how Cersei's gonna die.
Yeah,
he said the bathtub.
I don't think it's gonna be Jaime. I don't think it's gonna be Arya. It could be Brienne. I mean, I thought Brienne was gonna go, but now that they've kept her, I feel like she now has a strong purpose. So I'll go with Brienne.
Okay.
We're gonna end up getting totally shocked. It's gonna be the Hound.
The Hound has to face. Here's the loose ends that need tied up, right?
Tyrion?
No.
Skiz said she's going to take her own life because she has to be. She's a control freak.
I have to pick one. I got to go with that.
Okay. I just got to write these down. Okay.
So we obviously have, you know, the Hound and the Mountain. They have to fight. That has to be it has to be done, right?
Clegane Bowl. Yep.
Bronn has to meet up with the brothers, Jaime and Tyrion, and do whatever he's gonna do. I think he's gonna make peace with them and be like, your sister sucks, right? I'm not gonna take her money to kill you guys because I love you. I love you. You're my bros. So I think that's gotta happen too, which is why I thought they would both live. And but now that Brienne lived, I don't know, like her and Jaime have a thing going. You know, are they the next couple to ship here? Maybe.
No,
you don't think so?
I don't. I think that. I mean, I think that she had a thing for Jaime in the past, but I think he's gravitating towards her, but it's on a total, unbelievable, profound respect level.
Brother sister type level, maybe. Could be.
Yeah, but yeah. He admires her, man, and there's much to be admired there, you know.
And do we think Gendry's going to come into play with his status at all?
I think no. I think Gendry's just going to get legitimized in and happily ever after.
I caught enough of that to understand it.
Yeah.
Discord cuts out every once in a while. People, we just got to fill in the blanks.
Moni is pointing out Brienne and Tormund. I got to know, is she going to give him a shot? At this point, it's like upsetting me. Go see a movie with him or something.
Did Tormund live? I didn't see him.
Yes.
Any of
He
the
lived,
things.
bro.
I just kind of assumed he died somewhere and they didn't tell us.
And he lived, and it would have been great if he came out of that battle going, "Where's the big woman?"
Give me some Giant's milk for my teeth.
Oh man, she's got to give him a shot. Give him a go.
No, she was thoroughly disgusted by him last episode, so I think that's over.
I know, but
She has been disgusted by him the whole time.
He's awesome. She's gonna give him a shot.
So he was one that we both guessed wrong then, Mkbean.
Here's what's gonna happen.
Tormund.
Tormund is gonna hook up Brienne way up high in a tree. Cersei's gonna spot them, and then he's gonna push her out the window.
Okay. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why I lost last week was because of Pod.
Bran.
I thought Pod was going to die, and Bran. And you had
Pod.
Davos, right? So it was either Bran or... Yeah, man, what the heck was I thinking?
I
Both
messed
of those
up
were
on Davos.
Stupid.
What was I thinking? We had no clue.
Okay, here's something. What about the dogs barking? No, what about...
What do your dogs think is going to happen?
Can you hear that?
Can you translate?
Yeah.
What? I muted it. Dang it.
You muted your dogs? How do you mute your dogs? Please tell me.
Can you hear me talking now?
Yeah.
What's going on? What am I muting? Yeah. Back to the show.
It's okay. It's all right. You know our production value here.
You all know I live in a kennel.
Yeah.
No, okay, here's the question. Do any more dragons die?
I believe she will be left with exactly one dragon.
I started wondering this last episode if she would be left with 0. So
I believe she'll be left. 0 might actually make more sense so that the dragons can become a bit of a legend again.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with 0.
Okay, then I'll go with both then. So we all have something different.
Okay.
I have no idea. I think Skiz is going to get it right though. Bastard.
Right. Yeah, that's what makes the most sense to me, I suppose.
I think Okay.
All right. We'll see what happens. I'm excited. 3 more weeks. I'm excited and both terrified to have this series come to an end because it's been such a great run. So
really
we got a little more time,
our stream 3 weeks from now is going to be pretty emotional, I think. But it's going to be nice to see. We'll find out.
So emotional. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I got to have one of those Men in Black pens, this is what I would use it for. Finish the whole series, spray my face, and start over.
Yeah, I would have done it at the end of Harry Potter, for sure. That one was tough pill, and I got a feeling this one's going to be almost as tough, if not tougher. We'll see. But
I would have done it after I met Mkbean, but I wouldn't have been interested in starting over.
Hey, Skiz, you're a huge Harry Potter fan.
Yes, sir.
Are you a Hufflepuff?
I'm Gryffindor, baby.
No, you're not. Come on, you're a Hufflepuff.
I'm Gryffindor because I'm brave, I'm courageous, and you know me, dude. I have a commitment to doing the right thing. I am Griffin Dizzle. My dog's name is Gryffindor. Now that my dog itself, he's actually Hufflepuff, but his name is Gryffindor. You're Slytherin.
I'm actually Gryffindor as well.
Oh wow.
You're Slytherin.
I'm not.
How are you supposed? Why are you saying this like it's a fact? What am I missing?
I've taken the test, man. You haven't taken the test?
I have not.
Oh, so you're just assuming.
I'm assuming, and I'm assuming correctly.
My goodness! Wow.
Well, how do I take
Definitely a Hufflepuff.
So there is a place. By the way, welcome Channel 1. You're good to go this week, as we have actually gone through all the material from Game of Thrones. So we are spoiler free at this point. If you haven't seen it, right? We'll keep it spoiler free. We're basically just projecting what we think may happen. I think we're over with that anyway. But yeah, basically, if you're just coming in, you don't know what we're about. We do a weekly Game of Thrones review. So if you're a Game of Thrones fan and you happen to catch it before the Monday night time frame, then feel free to hit follow. Come on by next week, and we'll be talking more Game of Thrones episode 4 at that point. So yeah, if you're listening, feel free to hit the follow button. Came in at an odd time though. I did feel like we're wrapping up just a little bit. Maybe we can give a little something to talk about. But yeah.
So let's talk about something here. So there are, they're making several prequels, if you will, some spin-offs, right? HBO's got to keep the money coming in, because really, what's the next big show from HBO right now? I don't know.
Yeah.
So they're gonna do these prequels. So give me your best kind of show that came after another show, right? That was a spin-off from a show, right?
You had the spin-off of Breaking Bad with what's his name?
Sal, right?
Sal.
What's it called?
This one. Come on. Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul. Yep, there you go.
Saul. Yeah. But that one was not, that spin-off was not on HBO, right? That was on.
No, I'm just saying in general though, right?
Right.
So what are the good spin-offs, right? Yeah, I agree. NCIS of Jack. I giggle at that one just because it doesn't. There's like 500 of those. That's like saying that other one that they do. That police show or detective show. They've got like 500 of them.
Law and Order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't So what else is there? What other spin-offs have been good? I thought I wasn't a huge fan of Frasier, but I hear that was a good one, right? And Frasier came from
from
Cheers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What other type of spin-offs?
I mean, I don't know if you would consider it, but I mean, definitely, it doesn't exactly fit what we're talking about. But you had like the prequel stuff going on with The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of feels like what Game of Thrones might be doing, right? Is they have like their big, Lord of the Rings, and now they can go back, if they can go back in time, what led up to this. Of course, it sounds to me like they're going tens of thousands of years back, and I would kind of rather see the immediate years, the Ned Stark years, like him growing up, leading to his death.
That for me, the generation one, that would have been great to be able to see the battle on the Trident with Robert Baratheon and Rhaegar Targaryen. That would be great.
Yeah,
but I don't think they'll do it.
That makes me question why not. I mean, why are they going 10,000 years in the past or whatever they're going to do instead of just going back to like Ned Stark days, right? Him growing up, him and Robert together, like you said. Like that to me feels like this audience right now that knows these people, knows this story, like they would love to see that instead of like having to like start over with a whole fresh, character line 10,000 years ago or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense to me. I'll watch it, of course.
How about that one from Marcus? Is that a spinoff?
Skyblock, a spinoff of Naked and Scared. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We wouldn't be doing Skyblock if we hadn't done a season of Naked and Scared in Skyblock, right? So makes sense.
Hey, I took the test, Mkbean. I'm Gryffindor.
That's what he's been doing.
That's what he's been doing this whole time.
I was like, Skizzleman has gone to another dimension. We've lost him.
I didn't do that thing where I tried to answer knowing what I was extremely honest. And actually, I'm being honest here. As I was being honest in the answers, I'm like, he's right. I'm going to be Hufflepuff. But then it finished it and it said you're Gryffindor. So there you go.
Send me the test. Yep. I'll take it some other time. I'm not gonna take it on stream, but yeah. I was like, We lost Skizzleman. He's somewhere else right now. That's okay. We'll
No, we
carry.
know.
We'll carry.
No,
Skizz.
I'll tell you another spin-off.
Griffin Claw.
You can actually categorize Friends as a spin-off of Mad About You, because Helen Hunt and is it Paul Reiser? Is that his name? Remember Mad About You?
Yeah.
Their waitress was Ursula, which is Phoebe's twin sister. It was played by Lisa Kudrow, and her name is Ursula, and that's Phoebe's twin sister in Friends. So it's a super loose connection, but it can kind of be considered a spin-off.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I think I'm out of examples. I'm digging.
There were some decent ones
really
in the
digging.
chat, though. I mean, I didn't realize some of those, right?
I missed the chat ones. Go ahead.
Laverne and Shirley from Happy Days.
Happy Days. The Jeffersons came from Good Times.
Oh.
Schlemiel. Schlemazel.
Wait, isn't there some parts? Isn't there some
Well done, Skiz.
Well,
Something incorporated.
Oh man.
How come you guys can hear me when I'm muted?
He's worried about his mute button.
I don't love that. That means it's not good.
no.
You've heard me this whole time? I really thought I was muted when I was passing gas, but I guess not.
Yeah, that's why you don't take chances. All right.
I'm excited to see what's to come, for sure.
Me too.
Both with what we're talking about, this prequel series that could be in the work, and how this season ends. 3 weeks left, gentlemen. 3 weeks. We've been.
Skiz is stripping white. Wait a second.
Oh man.
Are we showing some skin now?
I only kept it teen rated. I don't think the bleep button works for. I don't think the bleep button works for nudity, Skiz. I'm sorry.
Take my shirt off and it's just a beep.
Quick, leave the co-stream. Leave the co-stream. We got to get him out of here. There's people watching.
Hide your kids.
Oh my gosh. Hide your wife. There's a hugging everybody out here. Hey.
Yeah.
Thanks
This
for all
was
the
another
follows,
fun
by the
show,
way.
gentlemen. I don't know if you know that. I missed you guys last time.
Yeah,
Not
we
too
missed
much,
you,
because I
man.
was
We
in
missed
the-
you.
You didn't miss us, you liar.
The first thing I said when he came, because Skizzleman got back from Hawaii yesterday, and
Yeah, it was like
still
yesterday,
managed
right?
to
Yeah.
come over and watch Game of Thrones last night. That's how hardcore he was. But I was like, do we need to watch last week's episode first? And he's like, nope, I found out a way to watch it in Hawaii. And I'm like, what? They have TV there? Isn't it like an island? How do they do that? That's amazing.
Yeah. This guy's in IT.
Wow.
No, it was good. It was good. He got a chance to watch it. You didn't wait long either. You didn't get like spoiled on it, right, Skiz? You saw it like Monday or something.
No, we watched it like as soon as we could because we didn't want to stay off of social media the whole time.
Yeah.
We had people posting Facebook stuff.
They have social media in Hawaii.
Oh my god!
They got everything there.
What do you think Hawaii is?
I know. Just playing. No, I'm a.
Daria was a spinoff of Beavis and Butthead. That's right. Go ahead.
was?
Daria.
I don't know. What's Daria?
Daria was there was a character on Beavis and Butthead, and I don't even know how to explain it. She's very Tina-esque from Bob's Burgers.
Oh, okay. I see her now. Yep.
Yeah.
Was
Wow,
Dora the Explorer a spinoff of Diego?
I think it was the other way
It
around.
was the other way around.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, that's,
You know
Don't act
what?
like you don't know. You got little ones.
They wanted, and they didn't do this connection, but they should have made the connections. The Office and Parks and Rec. They wanted
Definitely a
What's the
similar
connection
style, but what
no,
connection are you
even like
referring
the same. There's a lot of the same people who were making that show online, at least toward the end of The Office, not originally with Ricky Gervais, but they wanted to have some type of tie-in, like potentially The Office provided some office supplies to them, but they never did. Just watching some of the kind of behind the scenes of that.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, from a character standpoint, I don't remember seeing anything like that.
Nope,
but
it wasn't.
Yeah.
Kitty says
Hank
Hill was on Beavis and Butthead. I did not know that.
I mean, that makes
is that
sense because
true?
it's the same guy who did it.
That's true. Mike Judge, right?
Yeah, Mike Judge. Yeah.
Who also did Office or Office Space?
Oh, great movie.
Right?
D-Dubs asked, what's better, Parks and Rec or The Office? I would vote for... I mean, I haven't... Okay, well, it's probably my fault, but I haven't seen a lot of the Parks and Rec, so I'm going to say The Office.
Yeah, so I'll say that The Office, my trivia on The Office is almost the same as my trivia on Friends, potentially better. I love The Office. I have not seen all the Parks and Rec, but I've seen a lot of them, and I love it. And I put The Office over Parks and Rec, but Parks and Rec is really, really, really funny, though.
Oh, that might be my fault. Maybe I haven't seen enough of it. What about you, Mkbean?
Yeah.
It's The Office, but I loved Parks and Rec. What I didn't like about Parks, the last season, it kind of jumped ahead in time. It just felt weird to me.
Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I'm not that far. Yeah.
Yeah, they like jump ahead a few years, but it's, I don't know. It's an excellent Sean Swanson. Absolutely. He's a legend.
I don't remember who it is, but I saw it. So you know how like on Twitter you have like a one-liner that kind of describes who you are. I think mine says like storytelling. That's what I do or something. I saw one. This girl said that her Patronus is Leslie Knope. And I thought that was great. And I realized, dude, my Patronus is totally Ron Swanson, dude. I love that guy.
Is there a website for this too that we can go take a what's your Patronus test?
Just like, I don't know. I think mine would be Ron Swanson.
Probably gotta be, right? Go take
It'd be
test.
that or Jim Carrey.
Go take a test for anything these days.
Yeah.
Just go to internet.com. It's
internet.com. Yeah, man. Now we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the internet starts.
I'm going to that page right now.
We learned a lot tonight, didn't we? With
Wow.
Thanks for the follows, everybody. Appreciate that, Channel 1.
That is a busy website.
Yeah, it is. It's a terrible one.
He's like, I'm sorry, I opened it. I think I have a computer virus now. I got a computer virus that makes it so my mic doesn't mute.
I got it from the internet.
Well, guys, it's been fun. It's been real fun. A little fun. I'm glad to be back, and I can't wait to be back with you again next week. Like I said, I almost don't want to because it means it's another show in the books, which makes me very sad.
It's gonna be good.
But
I'm catching I'm coming back from San Diego that day, so it's gonna be interesting to see if I can make it in time to watch the show that night. It's gonna be a photo finish, so I may end up having to watch this like Monday before the review stream. So that could be weird, but hopefully I'll be back in time to make
It'd be
to
fresh.
It would be fresh in my mind, and there'd be
not look at any of the pictures. That'd be spoilers
there'd
for
be
you.
a lot better chance that I'd be sober when I watched it. That's always a struggle, you know, like trying to remember filling some of the blackouts. No, I don't drink that much.
Beep.
Right. Oh, but no, it was good. It was good. Skiz, you know, he made it, you know, like we said, from Hawaii, so I'm pretty sure I'll figure something out.
Yeah, you'll get it figured out.
Yeah. So looking forward to it. I think next episode is going to be interesting. There's a lot to settle now. Then march south.
Yeah. If it's truly an hour and a half, I mean, that's can't do math that's a few hours, and
Yep.
with the 3 episodes, right? So that's like 4.5.
That's crazy.
You know, it's about 4. We're getting a lot. We're getting a lot out of that.
They're pretty much making like full movies almost. I mean, fairly close, right? To making like
Yeah.
full
At least
feature-length movies, and their production quality is on par, I think, with movies as well. So it's pretty incredible that they're able to do that. Of course, it did take them like 8 years between seasons, so you know they had their time, I guess, to do it. But
No kidding.
no, I watched something on HBO today that that HBO put out on YouTube, and it was kind of like a how we made episode 3, and the logistics behind the battle scenes was absolutely incredible to watch. Like, even you think about all the bodies that were everywhere on the ground. Did anybody else watch this?
No.
So, no spoilers or anything, but all the bodies that were on the ground during the battle, at first they were like, oh, we'll just put, you know, mannequins out there, little dummy guys. And then they realized that, like, there's so many of them that it was going to be, like, really difficult for them to, like, pick them up and move them everywhere they had to move them. Every time it was like, okay, this scene's over here, let's put them over here, now it's scene's over here, let's put them over here. And they're like, there's no way we're going to move all these guys, and where are we going to keep them, and all that kind of stuff. So what they decided to do was make molds. They would basically pile the bodies up and then like make a mold over top of them, and then just painted the mold. And now they could just pick up the mold and then like move it pretty easily. I mean, it still looked pretty heavy, but it was a lot easier to move than like full blown like mannequins, you know? And so they had all these molds that they could stack and store better and things like that, that they would just move around the set everywhere they needed to go. So HBO put it out, I think on like their HBO YouTube channel. I totally recommend checking that out. It's like, yeah, it was like 40 minutes long, and it goes into detail on like the camera work, the green screening process, like the giant scene, what's her name was in Mormont. That was difficult for them to shoot because of the size difference and things like that, right? They didn't have an actual giant. So very interesting stuff to watch. So I totally recommend checking that out. There's a link in chat if you're interested. So thank you for that. Bleep. Right? Is that? No, that's not the link. If any mods are here, they can post the link. But yeah, search for it. Anyway, that was a fun watch. I watched that today. It was interesting.
That is cool.
We can go now. Channel 1 has moved on. I was just trying to fill the Channel 1 gap there.
Oh.
So yeah, I was stalling for Channel 1 to leave because it didn't feel right just abandoning them. So
yeah.
Anyway, hopefully you guys got something from that. But thanks again for joining us. That was a super fun stream. I do have a raid target. Let me double check, make sure he is still streaming. Yes, he is. The one, the only, you only got to type 4 letters in after the Mixer URL because it is Duke. So let's go ahead and raid Duke. He is playing, I'm not sure what he's playing actually, but it looks pretty cool.
I love Duke.
Yeah, Duke's awesome. The Witness, it looks like. So yeah, go say hi to Duke for us, and hopefully we'll see you guys again next week. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
See you later.
See you guys.